YouTube. I got some fun stuff planned for us, of course. And let's make sure we go live here. Nothing
Make
on it.
me go. Oh, you did. Okay. Got it.
You got it, dear. You've got it. And it looks like we're live. Let me record here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone. Oh, speak of the devil, here she comes. All right, love it. Perfect timing. So, hello and welcome, everyone. It is my favorite day of the week. I trust it's yours too. If not, it will be eventually if you stick around long enough. My name is Robert Blakely. I'm your host. We do this Monday call. It's a Monday Mastermind. Do it every Monday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. We've actually been hosting this for over 3 years now. We just decided to go public with it, so to speak, out on YouTube starting January. So 3 years consistently have not missed not one Monday, my friends. I'm pretty proud of that. That's my win, and that's how we start the show off. We start the show off with wins from those of us that are in the audience here. I like to reach out, live vicariously through everybody, hear about their wins, and then we have a little study piece. We talk about some things, open it up for mastermind, question and answer, that kind of stuff. So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to join us live. It's way more fun here live. And you can do that by going to thelosttransition.com/live, my friends. So that being said, I'm excited for today, as I always am, because it's Monday, but I've got some fun stuff that I want to share with you guys today. We're coming off of Saturday's Saturday's training. I just absolutely had a blast. Those of you that were there, you know how fun it was. Um, that was my win. So I know normally I let everybody else go first, but I'm going to share it because I'm excited. That being said, I want to hear from you guys out there. What are your wins for this week? Who wants to start us off? Speak now or forever hold your peace, my friends. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Tell me all about it. Go ahead, Vicky. Vicky Watley.
I have just been having a lot of success, I feel, in the last week and a half or so. Much more confidence. I feel like something's finally clicked
Love it.
and I feel freer. I don't feel so weighted down. I don't feel so full of anxiety and stuff. I just feel like it's more natural and I feel like I'm more Vicky Osgood Watley again. So
Love
and
it.
I've had and it's shown I've got leads after leads after leads that I'm following up with, and I've got people requesting samples and all kinds of stuff. So it's been exciting and it's been just a wonderful last couple of weeks.
I love it. I love it. So, how long do you suppose it's been since you've been Vicky Osgood Wale?
Oh gosh, do we really want to go there? I struggled, with, becoming disabled at an early age, and it was all health related. And, and so for many years, I was trying to find myself, but you get in your head because, people, if you can't see an illness, people don't believe that it's there.
True.
Okay. And then you get hit with all the, oh, well, you don't even try, or you're just lazy, or, and things like that, and then it just like constantly, like, is constant put downs and making you feel bad about yourself, along with trying to battle yourself back up, with your health. And so the biggest change for me is when I switched over to the supplements after almost a near death experience in 2023, 2 times, with the brain effusion and infection sepsis so bad that I got into my back. So that played a heavy role. I lost all of myself. I with the brain effusion, I didn't even know my kids' names for a little while, and I didn't know how to do anything independently for myself.
Wow.
So I was coming back from all of that. And then I got introduced to the supplements, and then I got introduced to this wonderful group. And between all of it, it's just helped. boost me back to where I needed to be. And so the answer to the question would be, I'd say probably since around 2009
Wow.
that I had lost myself. And to feel the way that I feel today is just so awesome. So
Oh, you're just
I love all of you and I appreciate it all. And
mm,
I appreciate, the support and listening to me cry or feel frustrated and stuff. I mean, it's just nice to know that there's support that way online and that I've grown so much in my mindset. And it just means the world to me.
I love it. And we love you, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing. You gave me goosebumps. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. Just thank you for being near the fire, my friend. Just keep on shining. You're doing so beautiful. I love it. Gene, don't cry.
Absolutely.
Tell us your wins, brother. Thank you, Vicky.
It's all dry eyed and always teary eyed. Well, I that thing I mentioned last week about this other company and want my lady partners to do live sales and stuff. I had to sign an NDA, so I can't talk much about it now. But things are moving forward, and it looks like they're going to be doing some live selling, and I'll be supporting them. Just not sure how the pay is going to work. If it's all going to be just commission and we split it 4 ways or what. But I can tell you separately with the same company, I got to meet with the CEO twice on 2 different Zooms. It was a one-on-one, and they had this pretty cool product that it's called Age Code, and they mail you. This is part of not the part of the NDA. They mail you a kit that you know how you diabetics have the thing attached to their arm.
Yeah.
It's similar to that it will poke a hole. It draws blood,
Oh boy.
a little bottle of blood,
Sure.
and you mail that back in a little biohazard package inside a box, a self-addressed box, and they go through a battery of tests. This thing costs $1,400 retail, but they do a battery of tests and give you a report either digitally or if you want to print it out, it's like a 200-page report to take to your doctor, and it grades you on all sorts of different levels, where your kidney might be at, where your kidneys are at, where your liver's at, so all sorts of different things like that. And now that gives the doctor the ability to focus in on certain things instead of practicing medicine. So, well, let's run this battery test. Well, we're not finding anything there. Now let's run this battery test. But it grades you on also your age and where you should be at your age versus where you're at, including checking hormones. So it ties into what I'm doing. So I'm going to be affiliate of that also, along with what we're doing.
This is a different company that you're talking about?
It's not New Your Life. Yeah, it's a totally different company, but we're going to be live selling a different product through them.
The reason I'm asking is because what you're saying sounds oddly familiar to me. I know that there's some type of supplement company out there to where they do something to that effect, and they specifically focus on what your needs are for your body. And that I love the idea. That's great technology,
And then they have another thing called immune, where for younger folks they can send in their blood and they cryogenically freeze it, and then as they get older and their immune system starts to deplenish, they can use that blood to help boost their immune system because it's their own blood, their own cells. So, and they have a thing that they do there. So that's pretty cool to get into, and kind of ties into with what I'm already doing my branding. But we'll see what else happens from there. And then, hey, from there, I wrote my first. Myself and ChatGPT wrote my first article for Got Backup. It's going to be posted tomorrow on LinkedIn.
Right on.
And I also went ahead and bit the bullet and jumped into a different funnel system. Not that I'm leaving Now Site, but that I want to use different funnel systems. I can also market that to. It's a lot more affordable than Now Site. It has an affiliate program with that.
Right. I saw your post on that.
Yeah, and things are just slowly but surely rocking and rolling. So
good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff, brother.
Oh, and I had a new sign up on our website. Also, I got to
follow. So, which one? Which website?
The yourhormonehealthhero.com.
Okay, cool. So did it? I gotta ask you about this because that's definitely a good win. Did that somebody come through? Was it independent without you talking to them? Did it work automated automatically, or was that somebody you talked to and then you gave them the website for them to sign up?
No, I haven't talked to this person at all. So they found it, and I just don't know where
That's
they found it
what's
because
up.
I'm posting
That's
two.
what's up right there, my
Exactly.
brother.
I'm posting
Woo!
3 articles a week on LinkedIn. I'm resharing that article on my Facebook page, on my Google Business, on
I love it.
Blue Sky, on other websites or other platforms. So,
Love it.
so
Love
I
it.
don't know exactly where it came from.
Perfect. That's why I had to ask, and I love it. And when you guys ever hear me talk about creating the system, once you know the system works, then it's just driving traffic to it. That's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. When you have it and you know it's automated, you can put it out there and it brings in traffic and it does the work for you. That's when you start making money when you're sleeping. Congratulations, Gene.
Thank
Freaking
you.
awesome.
Now,
That's
hopefully,
some
I
great
can
news.
convert that into a sale. Yes.
Well, yes. Oh, I thought we went all the way through, but still,
Oh, no,
that's
no, no. There was just they signed up for
okay.
my free ebook, but still.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So let's see about the email series that are going out, right? All that stuff.
mhm. Yep.
Nice, nice, cool.
I'm
Let us know, man.
I'm gonna be emailing today's article
Cool.
to my list also.
I'm excited for you though. That's awesome getting some traffic like that from LinkedIn. And and I want everybody to know, how long have you been trying it? Is it
I started my branding for Your Hormone Health Hero at the end of February
but then
and
as
built
far
my
as
website.
posting out there
Yeah,
was February?
yeah, February, in February, beginning of March.
Cool. So not bad. A couple months later, and now you're starting to at least get leads in. That's great.
Yeah,
Congrats, brother.
thank
Good
you.
job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah. Now, if I
Awesome.
could just convince ChatGPT to center what I want centered, it won't do it. So,
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing, Gene. Anybody else got any wins? Welcome, Virgil, by the way. We're just going through the way that we do the show here is we start off with people here that are in the audience. We talk about whatever wins that they had from last week that they want to share. And then I've got a little teaching piece that we deal with, ask questions, and then we open it up for what we call a Monday Mastermind. Been doing this for 3 years, as I had mentioned to you, Virgil. I just started going public on YouTube at the beginning of January. So this is week 19 that we're into. And the topic that we're going to be talking about here in a moment is mastering the zone, is what I'm calling it. So, do you have
Right.
any wins that you'd like to share from last week, Virgil?
Well, actually, yeah, I got invited this weekend, well, this Friday to speak at a conference, and it happens to blend in both of my passion, marketing and fashion. So it was a conference around bringing people that are in this ecosystem to use more their digital tools to commercialize their offers, right? And it was actually very well received. I used a few of the digital content that I created. It actually generated some feedback. People started taking the numbers, so it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and I have a follow up. I got that through a foundation, and I have a follow up conversation with them around that. So that was a big win for me this weekend, and it's actually continuing this week as well.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention too, Virgil and I will be doing the How To Tuesdays for everybody. Regardless of what happens, we know that people still need help. So don't miss that. It's going to be right here in the same room tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. Um, it was funny because I went and I picked it up, and then I'm like, I didn't even ask Virgil. I just like, okay, well, we need to do something. And then I went back to Virgil. He was very excited that I did that, and I'm excited to be able to, continue working with Virgil and sharing the knowledge that we have and helping however many people we can. So appreciate you
Absolutely.
being here today, Virgil. Appreciate you,
I
brother.
love I appreciate and I love the fact that you picked up on that. I wanted to make sure that it's something that we all got to continue. I love the momentum. I mean, it's something that was growing for everybody, including me. And the fact that that can continue on is a big thing for me too, as well. So thank you for having me. Thank you guys for keeping this synergy going. It's essential for us.
Yeah, now you could be more in the fold and have a lot more fun now too.
A lot more freedom.
Yeah.
I'll start dancing and stuff. A lot more freedom to discuss. And plus, everything that we discussed applied in and outside of Now site, anyways. So
Right.
now we have more conversation points to have, more demonstration opportunities. Yeah, we're
Right.
going to have fun.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here today.
Pleasure.
Dorea,
Pleasure.
what you got,
Pleasure.
girlfriend?
Hello, happy Monday. I don't have a
TGIF.
huge, but it's kind of cool. So I told you about my journey with these people and being the president of the Veteran Service Council and having to be a quiet giant until at the time for me to kind of show who I really am instead of kind of like having to explain that, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So the same individual, the same organization reached out to me. They asked me for my resume, and I thought it was weird, but they always ask me for weird stuff they never ask anybody else. But like the quiet giant, I went ahead and was like, sure, gave him my. Then a couple days later, one of the staff reached out and said, hey, would you be a guest speaker for us? Speak about 30 minutes for about $300. It's a nonprofit, so I don't so I wasn't expecting anything, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, and to talk about leadership and culture and from an HR perspective. So I guess I said, is that the reason why they were asking for my resume? So it's funny how I got the cold shoulder, I got scrutinized every which way. And then all of a sudden, one event just kind of transformed everything. And now they're paying me to speak. And so,
Wow. Oh, you're giving me goosebumps, girl.
yeah, so
Woo!
super
Freaking love it.
excited. And this is, this only been a couple of months. And
Oh
so
my
I
God.
want to encourage other people too. Sometimes, people have their biases. They may judge a book by its cover. You may go into a new space and you might feel uncomfortable or feel like you're not valid, but you quietly sit there and allow things to come in its own natural way. And it will overwhelm you with gratitude and opportunity. So, yeah, thanks. I'm glad to share with y'all.
Absolutely love it. And thank you for sharing. Hey, are you a big reader at all?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Have you heard me, like, I don't recommend many books, but have you heard me recommend that book, How to Lead When You're Not in Charge by Clay Scroggins?
No, but that's what I
Check,
do best. I lead from
yeah.
behind.
Well, check that book out if you ever get a chance. Like, it's a great book. That's the biggest thing that got out of that, which also ties into like a lot of the sales psychology and stuff, is making the right recommendations at the right time, right? Like leading from behind and not having to necessarily be that person up front, but understanding when to drop that seed, you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
something you might want to read.
Okay.
I got some
Sure.
value out of it. That's like I said, I don't really recommend too many books, but that's one that I recommend people check out. Thank you for sharing, dear. Keep
Thank
us
you.
informed, man. I'm loving this journey. How other thing happened just from that one little spark, and just now, hey, here's an extra $300 in your pocket. Imagine that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Thank
Oh,
you.
that'll win. Good job, girl. Great job. Gene, go ahead, brother.
I forgot one thing, and Virgil reminded me of it when he mentioned content, is pay attention to what your AI is telling you and asking you if you want. Because there's a wealth of information there, a wealth of content ideas. I'm going to be doing a David Letterman style top 10 list later
Love,
this week, probably
love
published Friday, on hormone health. But it was suggested by ChatGPT in a sense of, would you like me to, when I was doing my article for Wednesday or for building my article was going to be Friday and I haven't done it yet. It said, would you like me to list top 10 reasons why you want to balance your hormones? And it ping, right there. There was that idea. So pay attention to what it's telling you. And that, you know, so I'm gonna be excited about doing that, David Letterman style, and get a little video out there on that. So
I love it, and I look forward to that. And you know, I was talking to Jackie earlier, then even on Saturday, right? I hope that through, you know, the trainings that we do, that if nothing else, we at least encourage you to have some creativity, right? Encourage you to go back into that childlike mentality that you had back when you were a child, and not forget some of those things, and dream a little bit, and ultimately have fun with it too. Gene, I can't wait to see it. Personally, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, brother. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else have any other wins they want to share? Yes?
Of
No?
course, but I want to go last.
We know this. All right. Keisha, I was just mentioning your name. Were your ears burning? Huh? I was like,
Little
you
bit,
know
little
who we
bit.
haven't seen in a while is that Keisha gal. Where's she at?
No, I had such lousy signal in the Virgin Islands. I would have been cutting in and out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're off in paradise.
I had such lousy signal.
We
It was
forgive you.
bad.
We forgive
Um,
you.
but while I was there, my brother forgot I'm not a robot. So he literally had me scheduled to work back to back to back to back. And like, you realize there's no sleep time in here at all, right? Nonetheless, I did it. I survived. And while I was there, I got with Daddy Jones, Poison, Big Band, and about four others to be able to set up their Google My Business page, all their social media platforms,
Wow.
and the websites for all of them,
Wow.
including, so that's like 6 bands, 2 tow truck companies, 1 landscaping company, and 1 construction company.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
So
Wow. She don't play.
No, 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 not at all.
listen, at one point my brother stuck me on somebody else's team, which both one can't stand me, which is mutual, by the way. And he had a guy who was working for him as second in command, who's just disrespectful of women altogether. And the promoter caught what was going on. Promoter said for the next three jams she's working, I want to work him backstage with me. He not only had me working directly with him and ignoring everybody else, after I got paid and everything from the security, he still came to another location and tipped me $150. He goes, I couldn't have done this without you, because every time he went to them, they were like, don't tell me what to do kind of attitude.
Love it.
And
Love it.
they're crappy. I mean, and then I got one hell of a compliment that I swear made me freeze in my tracks. And the leader of Poison, he goes, Keisha, you are as much a part of Carnival as any other tradition we have. It is not the same if you're not here.
Love it.
You know, and I was like, wow.
So guess who
And
has to be there every year now?
so it made me feel really good. It really did. The only person I had an issue with was that one ahead of security for that other team, and my
Right.
own darn brother. I almost cussed him out in public, and then I remembered I was in public and I froze. I don't do public. I don't do public displays.
I'll go with you next time. Don't worry about it. I'll go.
Nikki, I got you. I do have some more videos for you. I just haven't sent them yet.
I think we'll be your bodyguards next time.
No problem. No
We'll be your
problem.
security.
We don't have to go for Carnival. We can go down there for Thanksgiving. It's actually kind of cool to be there.
There you
Okay, I'm
go.
ready.
There you go. I absolutely love it. Love it. Thank you, Keisha, for sharing.
All righty.
Oh man, what a way to go, girl. Way to go. So awesome. Now, Virgil, you being new, now you see why I start the show off with this fun stuff. All the wins,
I
man.
see.
It's amazing.
Creates energy. Yeah.
All right, Rita, you're up. They make
I
me
didn't hear, I
laugh. They
didn't
make me cry. Oh, it's awesome.
I didn't hear Jackie, so I just wanted to know if Jackie, our newest bloom, is wanted to share as well.
Jackie. Oh, she's
Of her a bloomer.
throwing you under the bus there.
Brum, brum. No?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. You do, but you're just not thinking. You just got to think about it. Well, first of all, I want to commend everybody, for the ones that show up, um, the ones that want to show up and don't have the ability to, but still thinking about us. I just see the group is growing and thankful. I mean, I always talk about Vicky with Vicky Osgood Watley, not the Vicky with the K, but how I mean, I watched her struggle. I watched her angst, her anger, her frustration, her not having internet, her not having the computer work. She had everything. But guess what? She's still here. And it was less than 2 years that the process took. And that's not bad at all. So continue keeping that attitude, Vicky. And we didn't know about the health issues, the health challenges behind it. So, definitely commendations and just a great leader for anyone who talks about having issues. No, you need to go talk to Vicky and she'll get you all straight. Um, and I am super excited to see Virgil. I was like, if I email him, can will he get it? Because that's announced. How do I get him? And then I forgot about Facebook, but I'm just really, really super excited about the things that you've put out there, the tools, the systems. It's like for dummies. I needed it, and I am so excited and happy that you're here in our community because you certainly fit extremely well. Even the methods that I'm learning, the methods that you use to talk to difficult, well, challenging people, I'll say not difficult, challenging ones. Like, boy, that boy's a smooth operator. So definitely,
Thank
and
you.
and I could probably say something about everybody, but I am. Oh yeah, let's talk about the jokester, Blakester. Watch his profiles, and because he's like the kick ass take names person. He's got on the gi, I think it's called, and then he's the boxer. Then he's behind bars. I'm like, you know what? He's just having too much fun, but it
I
sparks
am.
creativity. I pulled out my Victorian um, queen. So I finally found her, and that character is going to pop out soon, probably this week. But thank you for being that having fun. Let's go play attitude. That's me in a nutshell. My win. I do have an engagement on Saturday to be a part of an entrepreneurial panel. It is a paid engagement. I am super stoked. I'm still in Maryland, but I'm gonna get down there by Saturday. So I know that's the time that I have to leave. But I'm really, really excited. Um, Another win is the humor side that the change of state. I'm always thinking about that. So, and that's in reference to my dad, and he has dementia, and it, it's a bit of a challenge sometimes, but through humor um, and just trying to get that state change. So that seems to be following me throughout. It is constantly there, and I thank Blakester for doing that because even though Toastmasters teaches you some things, it when you get it differently and you receive it differently and you start applying it, you'll notice that thread just continues to go throughout your journey. And so this is a big milestone for me, and I'm super excited. So it's not always about, hey, I got to do this, and I'm doing. Sometimes it's the little things that seem to be so small, but they're huge in the long run. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank
Back
you
to
for
you.
those kind words. And the key word there, I think, my friends, is awareness. Right? You hear me talk about that quite a bit. Without awareness, what do you got? Like, you're not going to know that you've got an issue, that your page isn't converting, that your life sucks. You're not going to know any of that. Right? Until we're aware. Once we're aware, then cool. Now we can make the adjustments. We can figure out what we need to do, make the corrections, make life better, be happy. Right. So awesome. I thank you. I appreciate you sharing. So let's
Hey, there's one more. I
all
gotta
right.
say this one. I gotta say Catherine, because
Okay.
Catherine
Oh yeah,
put
yeah.
out
Where is
2
she?
videos, and Catherine wasn't to get her on camera, forget about it. But for her to make a video, oh my God, it was crazy, insane. Just, the growth, the
Mm.
growth. And I something else popped up. I'm not gonna shut up, I promise.
No,
Um,
go ahead.
Gene has, if you want to talk about customer service, talk to Gene. Talk to Gene. That's all I want to say. He's the go-to guy if you need any assistance because he's right on top of it, very in a very kind, passionate way. Talk to Gene. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
I'd like to add about Catherine's videos. They were awesome. I don't know if you had a chance to see them, Robert, but you could tell that that I mean her story that she was sharing was heartfelt, and you knew I knew that she was pulling from everything that we've all been growing and learning how to tell your story. And then she came back later in the day and added a little bit more to it. And it was just so heart touching. It was beautiful.
Absolutely, I concur, and I wish she was here to hear all these beautiful things being said
You'll
about
hear
her.
it on the video.
We're gonna have to make sure that she sees the recording on this one. But yeah, I saw her video before we started our Saturday training, and I definitely reached out to her. It was it's one thing, again, this is another thing that you hear me saying, that maybe it'll kick in your life too if it doesn't now, but living vicariously through your friends, man. You know, I think it's just something truly imagined. Uh, it's magical to me. This way you can be in those places that you can't be. You're just living it through somebody else, right?
Hmm.
But thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Too bad she's not here. I'm gonna have to definitely have her watch the replay. All right.
And, like Rita just said, she didn't know about all my health stuff. Well, I didn't come up, and when I met all of y'all and then told you everything. I mean, I was just trying to grow myself and to pull myself out of it. And so it's just proves everything you say about telling stories and the importance of it. So I think I'm just feeling more comfortable now to start sharing
I'm sorry.
things
I'm
that
sorry.
I
I'm
have
not
on.
trying to. I don't
I'm
mean to
done.
interrupt you, but could you repeat yourself again, Vicky? Jackie, listen closely. What did you just say, Vicky?
Let me repeat what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay. I said that the importance that I can see is that I've been able to start sharing more and more of my story because I'm starting to have the confidence to do so. And that's made a world of difference. I mean, I'm doing it everywhere across the board, and that's what I mean. In the last week and a half or so, I just feel like something has clicked, something has changed, and it's just like I feel like I'm on fire and I'm full of power, and that is what I needed so
Woo!
bad. And I'm thankful to all of you. So thank you so much.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing, my friend. That's actually, believe it or not, perfect segue into what I want to talk to you guys about today, right?
Hey, Robert, can you pull your mic a little bit closer, by the way, so I can level you out with everybody else?
I can. Mic check, 1, 2. And you know what? I thank God I got my sound engineer here with us. I love you, Gene. Appreciate you. So today, as you guys know, what I normally like to do is I just kind of like think about, well, what's going on in our world right now? What can we do? What can we do to bring some value? Give you guys some ideas. tap into your brains a little bit, drop some seeds, give you some things to think about. Today, I wanted to talk about, and this is week 19, I want to talk about what I'm calling mastering the zone. And it's unlocking your network marketing potential. Part of this, really, I can go back to my network marketing time, or excuse me, my direct marketing time. And those of you that are in the Saturday trainings with me, you'll know what I'm getting at. When I come and I talk about the whole 5 conversations per hour, that was coming from having to go door to door, right? And it was that we had to go knock and have that conversation. Realistically, from the time that I knocked on that door to get somebody on the phone for a third party verification call, it was all about 12 minutes, right? And what ended up happening, which is why I tell you these things and teach you these things because they work, is you would get that yes, and then you would want to immediately go to the next door right away so that you were still on that high or that energy from that yes, right? And if you took that energy the right way and you carried it to the next door, and you use the third party that I teach you guys and tell you about, Janet next door here, and you would carry that vibration, right? Remember me telling you guys that the sale it's not that exchange of goods and services for money, it's a transference of emotions. So when you learn how to transfer that emotion, you can sell anything, doesn't matter what it is. So you would take that emotion that you had from that first door and you transfer it to the next one because you were on that high, and you say yes. Again, same thing, wrap it up, boom, boom, boom. But my point that I'm trying to make is that's what kept us in that zone and kept us laser focused, because the goal was to have those 5 conversations per hour. It wasn't whether or not we got the sale. That's why I tell you guys, be married to the process and divorced from the outcome, right? If you're married to the process and you're doing a process that works, got to be specific, right? Because a lot of us are taught these processes that don't even freaking work, or they're outdated, or they don't make sense for the audience that you're actually dealing with, right? But when you have your individual niche narrowed down, you have your systems that work like what Gene was talking about, to where they actually get those leads. And now you can carry them through your system to where you get that sale. That's what we're talking about eventually, that you want to get to, right? But when we're talking about the topic at hand and mastering the zone or unlocking your network marketing potential, really, I'm going to lean back on what I'm explaining to you now, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to have some questions, going to, some talking points for you guys. But that's where it really started for me, is understanding how to get in that zone to where I was at peak performance. Anybody in here ever been an athlete at all? I'm not. Let's be clear. I'm not an athlete, right? But I can't say when I was in the military, around the 2 mile and like 646, which is not bad. It's not too bad, right? But the reason that I ask if you were an athlete, that's the same kind of thing. Even an athlete, they have to get into that zone of peak performance. This is why I'm talking to you. This is what I'm expanding your mind for. This is what I want to plant the seed for, right? Is how do you get into that zone? I want to give you some ideas. Maybe you'll hear something from somebody in the audience here that may help you be able to get into that zone, get into that peak performance. I can tell you, though, for me, whenever I just simply turn some music on in the background, I can get into my groove, and I can be there like that emoji you see, or the gift that you see, the cat. Tap, 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 tap. Vicky's laughing. She gets it. That's me in the zone, right? So if I'm in the zone right there, well, you guarantee I can get those 5 conversations started, and I'm going to get through as many as I can, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is many of us don't even know how to get into that zone. We don't know how to unlock our potential, even though we know we have some potential. Maybe we don't think we have enough potential, But look, every single one of you guys that's in here now, and especially if you're watching, every one of you has the potential to do this. Every single one of you. As long as you're coachable, which is the biggest thing, and you keep showing up, which all of you guys do, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you for showing up, because it allows me to continually drive in these things that I've learned over the past 39 years for you to eventually get it. Or like Rita says, for the dots to connect, right? When we talk about getting in the zone, it's achieving that mental state of deep, deep focus. Another trick that I've mentioned to some of you guys before, some of you guys maybe haven't heard this before. Another little trick and tip that I learned before is literally a little thing that you can do right there in your office where you're at. So what you do is you take your seat wherever you're at, and you find a point on the wall, and you take a pencil and you just literally put a pencil dot on the wall across from you. And if you stare at that pencil dot, I guarantee you focus enough, what's going to end up happening is everything around that dot is going to become very clear, right? Keisha knows exactly what I'm talking about, because it's good for security and paying attention to your surroundings. Ooh, I'm getting big time goosebumps as I'm telling you this. Whew, dang. Woo, all right. All right. We're going somewhere with this one. But that's the kind of focus. When you do that, you understand we're talking about laser focus. That's what you have to do. What you have to get to is that laser focus. So if you're only doing this 2 hours per day, 3 hours, 4 hours per day, how laser focused are you getting? That's the big question, right? Are you getting focused enough to do your best to get through those 5 conversations per hour? Because if you're just following that one formula that I teach you, that 5 conversations per hour, I guarantee you will find success. Not many people can say that, but I can guarantee this. Okay. But it's, again, going back to what I'm talking about, it's getting into that mental state of just deep focus. Like the runner would think about winning that race. And in fact, if you want to get even more technical, a runner will win the race in their mind before they even run the race, my friends. I want you to think about that for a minute. So, can you see yourself winning this network marketing game that you're playing? Because really, that's the way I look at it. That's the easiest way for me to look at it. I'm an old time gamer. Look at it as a game. And if you're good at gaming, pass the levels, right? Little by little, we level up. We learn more and more. We get past the alligator, and we swing on the vine and go across the, whatever the treacherous falls are, and all those other little things, right? So we got to think about getting in the zone. Secondly, peak performance. What does that consist of? It's the pinnacle of one's ability to execute tasks with maximum efficiency and effectiveness. So not only do we want to be efficient, we want to obviously be effective as well, right? So if we take some time to think about what our plan is and we put some thought to it, again, not to bring Gene up again, but I will. He had a thought, he had an idea about doing this top 10, went into AI. Boom. Now it's taking that action, right? So I can tell you, somebody that's been in marketing forever and ever, and like I was talking to Jackie earlier, the ideas, they're there. If you allow them, or if you listen, like I tell you to, listen to yourself, listen to the ideas that are coming into your head. And if you get an idea, run with that idea. Now, it may not be the most popular idea in the world. Some people may dislike you for it, but who cares? Those people that don't like whatever it is that you're putting out there, they're not your customers anyway, right? They're not your tribe. So don't worry if you hurt some people's feelings, and they want to cry in the basement because they don't understand your humor. Okay. It's just, again, stay married to the process, divorce from the outcome. I would divorce that nonsense. Next is flow state. So when we talk about flow state, really, this is where the psychological part comes in, because it's a term that's closely related to getting in the zone. It's flow state. Right. So that's where you start to get in the flow to get into the state of peak performance while you're getting in the zone. One moment, please. Okay. Now, that being said, there's 5 different things that you hear us talk about a lot, and we'll go through those. The first one, number 1, is the importance of mindset. Oh my God, Robert, not mindset again. I don't know why everybody keeps saying this mindset thing. Why do you think all of us that know what we're talking about yell, scream at the top of our lungs about mindset? It's because it's the most important thing. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. We start off in this industry because it's so dysfunctional with the wrong mindset to begin with. We start off with, I got to make money. Sell, buy, sell. But it's not going to serve us. It might serve us in a direct marketing environment if I'm going door to door, but it's not going to serve us or serve that purpose, especially if we're doing this online, right? It's not going to happen. I had to learn that the hard way. So number 1, important mindset is the most important thing. And secondly, I want to mention is preparation and routine. As mentioned with Gene, right? He gets an idea. Then there's some preparation that's involved. And then get into that routine of doing it over and over and over and over again, especially once you find what works. When you find what works, hello, keep doing what works. And then guess what happens? You're going to change what works because it happens all the time. I've seen it thousands of times. And then you're going to be like, I don't know what happened. I'm not getting the results I did before. And really, we're going to have to go back to the basics. Go back to what you knew. Go back to what was working. Now, will things change in time? Sure, they will. But overall, the things that we're talking about and changing a person's state and building relationships, that will never change, my friends. That will never change. That's always going to be the same. So number 2, preparation and routine. Number 1 was importance of mindset if you're taking notes. Number 2, preparation and routine. Number 3, this one I say with a light heart because you guys know how I feel about the whole goal setting thing, right? But goal setting. And I only say this because again, I'm not a big component of being that person that's going to say set goals because most people just don't know how to set goals properly enough to hit them. That's the biggest problem with goal setting. People set their goals way too high. They can't hit them. It doesn't happen. They fail. And again, it's this repetitious cycle that happens. And especially in the mind's eye, psychologically, if we go and we see that happen, then that's where we stop trying to do things. Some of you guys might relate with what I'm talking about right now. Oh man, I've tried that too many times. It kept getting the same result, which was a negative result. So why try it again? Well, I mean, think about how the light bulb was invented, right? How many times did he fail before he finally got the light bulb working? May just simply be that you tried so many times, but you tried the wrong way. And a lot of that's probably going to become just because it's lack of knowledge. You just didn't know how to do it the right way. Once you're taught how to do it the right way, then hello, now you do it the right way. Now you see the results. Now you keep doing what's bringing you those results. Right? So, number 4, training and knowledge. Oh, amen. Thank you for being here, my friends. Thank you for being here. You make my day every Monday. I love coming in here and having our conversation. But training and knowledge, it gives us a chance to kind of continuously learn, especially from one another. As you know, I truly believe we can all learn something from each other. But that's another way for you to get into and master that zone. Training and knowledge. And then number 5, last but not least, is personal branding. All right. I can't stress enough like the value of building that strong personal brand, especially in network marketing. But as you guys know, I say this, Do not attach yourself to a company. Be careful with it, right? Just be careful with it. Like Gene's is great. We've talked about his. He's not mentioned in any names specifically, but you want to even be careful with that on your personal branding. Your personal branding needs to be exactly that, personal. It's to you. What is it that you bring to the table? And what I like to add to that is if you're looking to figure out, like, how do I tell that story? It's where were you? Where are you at now? And what direction are you going? What is your vision for the future? Right. Because if you could tell your story in such a way that's compelling enough, people can grab onto that or levitate with that, then there's your audience right there, my friends. And I can tell you this again, is tried, tested, true, and approved. All you need to do is find 6 to 8 leaders in your organization that have the same passion and drive as you do, and you'll never have to worry about money again within that specific MLM or network marketing company. Okay. So that's the topic of information that I wanted to bring to you today. I trust I expanded your minds a little bit, gave you something to think about. I'll throw out, since we do have a few minutes, I know we always start like at 11:05. I want to throw out a question for the audience here. Okay. And this is for anybody. Just raise your hand if you want to answer it. But for me, I mentioned earlier what I do to help get in the zone is I normally put on music. That's what I love to do. I'll put some music on in the background and I'll get to work. Especially if I'm working on graphics or something, like I have been playing around with ChatGPT lately. I love just having the music on in the background because it gets me in that groove and I can like just sit there like that, gap pounding away. If I get a phone call or have to have a conversation, if it's text, well, I don't have to necessarily turn it off. I can turn it down. I can focus because of my ADHD. I can have multiple conversations and multiple inputs at the same time. But if I can jump on the phone, well, then okay, now I got to turn it down enough so that I can hear myself think. But the question is this: what routines or rituals have helped you to get in the zone for network marketing? Like, what is it that you do, or something that maybe you weren't doing before, but you started doing to help you get into whatever that zone was? Maybe it was prayer, maybe it was meditation. I don't know. That's why I'm reaching out to you guys. What are some of the things that you guys do to get in the zone? Anybody care to share? Oh, look, now y'all quiet, right?
Yeah, music for me does it as well. And so that's why I wasn't gonna say anything because that is I found this app thing that helps me create the kind of music I'm looking for, the type because I like a lot of fusion. I like the violin orchestra to hip hop beats. And it just does something to me to hear the violin just and then if we still have a good bass line beat, and I can't hardly find that kind of fusion, but that's what really gets my mojo going, and I can go hard, and with the escalating and de-escalating, I get all in it. So
Hey, I need you to do me a favor and send me one of those songs. That sounds like
yeah.
fun to me.
Oh yeah, I will definitely. Thanks.
Thanks for sharing. Gene, how about you, brother?
Well, because I'm a tech head, mine's more systems and processes, my own that I come up with. So like what I started doing on the weekends is getting all my stuff prepped for the week for scheduling posts, stuff like that. Writing my newsletters, I have a system to do that. I've got a ChatGPT laid out correctly that when I say give me an idea for a newsletter and it gives me the idea, so I can give me a newsletter, it gives me everything I need. I just like those type of systems. That's what gets me going, is I like the tech side of stuff like that. So and that's what kind of motivates me a little bit to get the things that I need to get done. And then also trying to do that more with the outreaches, is get
So
my own system down
what
pat. So
what I'm hearing from you is seeing the technology work, right?
yeah,
Is what influences you or gets you in that zone.
yeah.
What happens when the technology breaks?
I go in the corner and cry.
Huh?
I go in the corner and cry. But no, it's been like that ever since, since I started working in '84 in a warehouse, got uh into an automotive dealership in '87 and started learning computers back then. So everything's been tech since then while I've been doing other things. Then actually working for the company that puts the computers into the automotive dealerships. And I was always a go-to guy for that. And I always just had my systems. Then I was working for Microsoft Advertising. I had my systems in place on how I did my day and how I did certain things. And that helps keep me on track lots of times. So
It's funny you say that, and I can totally understand that. And again, going back to my ADHD mind and Chat GPT, I love being able to use it because I can do multiple things, right? You can do multiple things. And then it's like whenever Chat GPT decides to be dumb, jump into dummy mode, as I like to call it, all right, I'll go to the next thing. All right, I'm back. Are you ready for me? Are you done? Next project. Oh, you're not ready? All right, I'll be back. Go to the next one, So I
it's
can
funny as you
totally.
say that because I said at the top of the Zoom that I couldn't get ChatGPT to line up something correctly. So I said, well, I guess I just go to Canva. And they said, well, you want me to lay out the details of what you want in Canva? Sure, lay them out.
There you
So
go.
lay it out for me. So now make this just like you just laid it out, and it came out perfect.
Exactly. Love it.
So
Thanks for sharing, brother. Vicky, how about you?
So there's different zones for me. If I'm needing to de-stressify or whatever, then I'll take a walk and just enjoy nature. I've got lots of property to do that on, plus get exercise. Always prayer. And but to really get me in the zone, I like good music. Music really resonates with me, so that always helps me get into the zone.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. How about you, Virgil?
I actually like how Vicky started out by saying there's different zones, and one of the zones that I usually get into, or the trick that I use to get into that zone, is when I'm about to have conversation, because it's a trick that followed me or that was always present. Whatever job I did, whether I was working in a bars, you had to keep a smile in the voice. Whether you were answering the phone, you had to keep a smile in the voice. Whenever you were about to knock at a door, well, you better have that smile on your face, right? So that trigger for me, smile in the voice. Whenever I'm about to do something that involves a communication exchange, that involves me talking about what I'm passionate, or even making a presentation, smile in the voice. Why? Because it puts you in the confident zone. Because if anything, a smile is always welcoming, right? So it
I love it.
anchors you. So that's my share.
I love that. That's some positive feedback there. Positive share. It does, man. Smile. It puts you right where you need to be for sure, brother. Or even a superhero pose. Those work great too. Thanks for sharing, brother. Rita, what you got, girl? What you
All
doing up
right.
there? Get in the zone.
This may not be what a lot of people do, but working under pressure is where I get a lot of ideas and stuff that just pops up because I'm a planner. I love to plan things, but then you don't quite get exactly what you want with the intensity. But the closer I get to the deadline, I get a flood of ideas.
Uh,
I don't say that's the best way to do it. It's just the way that it works for me.
No, I'm glad that you said that, and I appreciate that. I can relate to that too because I do work very good under high pressure situations. That's why Keisha jumped to raise her hand, probably too, right? You triggered something for her to think about. But yeah, I do very well in those situations too. Planning is obviously better, get hit the marks better, but maybe I shouldn't say that either because it really just depends on that person on how well, right? You can still hit those marks even if you're at that last. Hero. But thank you for sharing. I'm glad you said that. Keisha, what you got?
So for me, procrastination is a real thing, right? Procrastination, we must have been born together. We were best friends. So for me, it is pressure. When I'm under pressure, I am like, I got you. Like I don't break, I don't falter, I don't fold. But when I have time, I procrastinate.
I hear you.
I do find that music helps me in certain things, but not others. And I'm with Gene on that. Once I ask the right question that gets me started down an alleyway, I'm going to go down that whole rabbit hole and finish this thing up.
Got you.
So I can relate to just about everything that everyone has said on this call as far as, your what gets you in the zone. So again, why I love this group so much.
I love it.
So
Love you too. Thank you for sharing. It's funny as you say that, I was thinking to myself, my wife would probably come to you guys and think and say that I would procrastinate, but I really don't. What I do is I chunk block times for anything and everything that I need to do. I'll tell you about this because you'll laugh about it, right? But let's say, for example, we'll go outside. Oh, it's a beautiful day. The wife will make this funny, insinuating joke about, oh, wow, how the yard needs to be cut. Right? And I'll be like, yep, sure does. In my mind, I'm thinking, I got my own block of time set up for that, and that's on the weekends, right? So that's what I did this weekend was I was in the backyard there cutting the yard, cutting the jungle down. And the wife was really happy. And I just tell her all the time, no, I've got a plan for everything, but I do it like that. If I've got things to do, I look at what's the most excruciating thing that needs to be done and can be done the quickest, or something that can be done the quickest and get it out of the way is how my mind works, right? Other things, okay, well, I'll just plan for them. And okay, well, this day I know I'm gonna do that thing unless something comes up like rain. But I tried to just section it, block it off, and then once I know it's something that I have to do, the military style kicks into me, and all right, we got to get it done, make shit happen. That mentality kicks in. So, but appreciate each and every one of you guys sharing. Thanks so much for all the fun today. Everybody got some value out of this today, I trust. If not, we need to check your pulse there, boys and girls. Need to check your pulse. But we do this show again every Monday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. Come on in. Feel free to join us. You can join us by going to thelosttransition.com/live. Love to see you here. That's all we got for this week. Go out there, kick ass, take names, have some fun. G, you had something?
Doria posted in the chat one of her songs if you want to download it. We're in the chat in this.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, it's one of my music and one of the things I created with AI, refusion.com. It's a free app. And that's the one I made making a CD for female veteran service, veteran songs that deals with us personally. That's where I got my what's it called, theme music,
Yeah.
and where we talking about we're women, we're warriors, and we'll rise.
Yes.
This is a little anthem for female veterans and just for us to connect. So yeah, and somebody was like, "Hey, can you make a
Can
CD?"
you
So
hear my background at all?
yeah,
Can you hear it?
yeah, it's
That's a
going in and
sneak peek.
out.
Those of you on YouTube, ha, better come here live next time. We'll see you next week. Let me stop the streaming here.